I'm Sonny Liston, I'm Jack Dempsey, there's no one like me. I'm from Naircross. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous, my defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious, I want your heart, I want to eat his children. I was going to rip his heart out, I'm the best ever.
And we back, another podcast.
We're back at it.
Back at it. Two in one day.
It was like this is kind of like Tupac, you know?
Yeah.
7 Day Theory. He was just knocking tracks out back to back.
Another album out. That's what I'm about.
More.
All right.
But I tell you who's about more. That's Terence Crawford. He's about more belts.
Yeah. So Terence Crawford knocks out Indongo as I correctly predicted last week.
Did you?
I said he would toy with them. He didn't really toy with them.
I think you said you didn't care.
I said he would toy with them. He didn't toy with them. He executed that man.
No, he did. He wasn't.
He wasn't toying around.
He wasn't toying around at all. He had a purpose about what he was going to do tonight, and it showed. And I think it was, what was it? There was over 12,000 fans in attendance tonight.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, the crowd was, what would you say, raucous?
It was definitely a pro Crawford crowd. I mean, Indongo had no support.
And I felt bad for Indongo because I think the only fans that were probably there for him were the people in his corner.
Yes.
That were rooting for him. And I think maybe even as the crowd got a little riled up, they might have turned on him.
They might have said, you know what? Let's go Crawford, baby. This was a great performance by Crawford, to say the least.
Did you think it was great?
Yeah, I mean, Crawford, there's stuff, he still gets hit probably more than I guess most people would be comfortable with as the fighter of his level to get hit. But he always takes them well, right? And Indongo did land some punches, some looping punches, but he took them fine.
Yeah, I think it's always been.
That's not going away.
The looping shots have been. I mean, I don't think he gets hit a ton.
No.
I just think he does get hit with some big shots.
Yeah.
But Indongo was a lanky guy with a great reach and very awkward style. So, sometimes you're going to get hit by some of those shots, and we've seen Crawford get hit by looping overhand rights or lefts. So it's nothing new. But I mean, what has he shown us? He's shown us that he has a pretty sturdy chin, right?
Yeah, and he today he showed it. Usually, today he went to the body a little bit more. Ended the fight on a brutal body shot. Indongo couldn't get up, counted out, third round knockout. After the knockdown in the second round that I think was started with the body shot.
Yeah, but I think he got rocked though. I think he took a headshot that kind of dazed him too, though. But I think I think this goes back to what I was saying in the preview because I did some homework on Indongo.
Okay.
And I thought he was a little predictable, and I did mention that he likes to reach a lot.
Right.
And I kind of felt like he was reaching a lot, and his hooks were very wide, and he did catch Crawford with a couple of them. But what you did notice was Terence was kind of sneaking underneath those, and he checked him to the body a few times. That one body shot wasn't the only shot that landed. He dug to the body a few times, and he was setting him up for that. And I think he was anticipating those wide hooks, after he was filling them out. And I think he got really good leverage on that last one, and that's what did him in. It looked like one of those. I don't know. It was a really quick left hook to the body, really quick.
Yeah. So as all things in boxing, we just move on. We move on.
Yeah. Another thing that also too, you didn't hate to read into body language, but I don't know. Indongo looked a little deer in the headlights when the fight was about to start. I think he was kind of overwhelmed a little bit.
Yeah, he looked a little nervous. He was a little tight, but he was game. So I will give. It's not like he came in there just waiting to roll over. He came in there to win. He just could not win. He was just.
Yeah, you could just see the temperament too because he looked a little. He was bouncy. That's just his natural style. But you could see Crawford was moving too. But he just felt like he was a little bit more composed and he had his feet a little bit better underneath him.
So Crawford joins the list of. Undisputed champions who are also undefeated at the time. Marciano, Foreman, Mike Tyson, Joe Frazier, Jermaine Taylor, man, Spinks, Ali, and Holyfield.
Michael Spinks, not Corey Spinks.
No, Michael Spinks. There's one name on that list, though, that really does not belong. Come on, Hopkins. You should do some more punches in that fight against Jermaine Taylor, man. Come on, man.
Well, Hopkins had taken a couple of losses early in his career, so he wasn't undefeated when he became undisputed.
Yeah, but I'm saying, come on, man. Come on.
Just his performance, yeah. So three undisputed champs, and when it's funny, it's nice little symmetry there that when Hopkins became undisputed, he ended De La Hoya's night with a liver shot.
Yeah.
And Crawford becomes undisputed with a liver shot.
So we're already talking way too much, just like last week, way too much about Indongo right now. Let's move on, man. This fight is over with, thankfully. So Crawford's moving up to 147. He said, I guess he's going to go to Australia to scout, I don't know, Pacquiao and whoever, and Joe, and is it Joe Horn or Jeff Horn? You always make fun of me, man. You always make fun of me, but I legit don't remember because this guy is legit, well, he does have a title, but still.
Well, he legit beat Manny Pacquiao.
He's still not better than
some feel.
One of the all-time great Saints wide receivers, Joe Horn. All right. Who should Crawford fight at 147?
I mean,
they're not going to put him in there with Pacquiao, right?
I don't know. It depends. I mean, it's really, I think ultimately it's up to Pacquiao, and Freddie Roach if they want to take that fight.
I just think that's just too. It's too much of a torch passing thing, and it's like Pacquiao's already done so much for Top Rank. It's like, do you really want to put him in there with Crawford? I mean, I would love to see it, but it's like Pacquiao's kind of earned the right to not to have to, come on, man.
What, get put on the chopping block?
Yeah, I mean, Pacquiao. I mean,
it's set up perfectly for Crawford to beat him. He earned
the right to have a Horn, and he destroyed Horn. It's just the judges got it wrong.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's only a couple of guys. I mean, unless you're going to cross the fence, hop over to the other side, Okay. There's Jesse Vargas at 147, who hasn't fought lately, right?
Right.
And Crawford. I mean, Aaron even mentioned Mike Alvarado, who scored a spectacular knockout today.
Yeah, knockout. One of the knockouts of the year so far.
Which, I mean,
that's a joke. Come on.
Yeah, that's not going to be healthy for Mike Alvarado.
Let's just say, all politics aside, right? I would like to see Crawford fight Keith Thurman. That would be a fun fight.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Both very wiry, very athletic. Both can get it done in different ways. Just both have power.
Both very cerebral.
Both cerebral. I just hope it just ends up. I know because of the politics, you can't really, we can't say that. There's a chance it never happens, right? Just like we knew that Bradley would never fight Mayweather in his life, even though there were certain points where he would have been a logical opponent for Mayweather. But especially coming off that win against Pacquiao. But just the politics prevented it from happening. So I would like to see him fight Thurman.
You know what? Yeah, I do. I mean, to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind to see him against Sean Porter.
Sean Porter, that would be a good fight.
You would expect Crawford to win, but that's the type of physicality and the pressure you want to see.
Sean Porter can neutralize a lot of things you do by just outworking you and being so damn physical. That would be a great matchup. I mean, really,
I just think the style would just give Terence some run.
This is what I talked about last week, though. That this is why I told you he should have moved up a while ago, because there was nothing for him at 135. There's nothing for him at 140. His talent, he's in his prime. He's in his physical prime. Let's go get it, man. There's guys at 147 that's interesting that you could fight. Just don't go fight Mike Alvarado, please. Don't do that.
Well, I think a lot of people have alluded to the biggest ultimate showdown is between him and Errol Spence.
See, this is.
How would you see that? Well,
I cannot pick you know, in all sound body and mind, I cannot pick anyone to beat Earl Spence Jr.
Not even Crawford.
Not even Crawford. Because Earl Spence Jr. is a fucking Terminator. So no. And to my point, he's having even with the belt now, they're having a hard time finding somebody to get in the ring with him because nobody wants to get that ass kicked. Because you know what you're signing up for when you fight Earl Spence, right? You know what you're signing up for.
Yeah, I think those are the, Porter and Spence would be the styles that I would think that would trouble Crawford because you got to be able to physically,
because
take the fight to him.
Spence, in a similar way to what Porter does, which is cuts to the chase by being very physical. That cuts out a lot of the stuff you can do. But Spence just does it. Spence is just a more devastating puncher than Porter does, and he's more accurate and he's a better body puncher. He's just Spence is the new Triple G, man. Ain't nobody trying to fight Earl Spence, man. Spence might take the rest of the year off.
Right. Well, look, I mean, the obvious move here for Crawford, and he's already stated it after the fight, is to move up to 147. And, if Pacquiao wins.
No, I don't want to see that. Well, I guess I would watch it just because Pacquiao's an all-time great. And, Pacquiao's never really been. Well, Floyd dominated him, right? But Pacquiao's never
gotten destroyed. Marquez killed him.
Yeah, but that was a competitive fight. That was life or death for both guys.
Right. So,
yeah.
ESPN, if they can put that fight on ESPN, or they wouldn't do that, right? That'd be a pay-per-view fight, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man, because, Top Rank, I think the other dope part about this is, Top Rank needs to keep this going. They found their niche because, see, this is what's smart about Top Rank is they really only have a few stars, and they were kind of running out of options on HBL what to do with them. But you bring the ESPN and you're trying to expose them to a whole, to the mainstream. So it kind of it gives them, refreshes these guys. Because there's a lot of people who've never seen Lomachenko, and there's people who haven't seen Pacquiao in years, So it's it's a new outlook. So I think they should try to keep Crawford on ESPN, similar to the way Heyman tried to keep Keith Thurman on NBC and CBS, on free TV, because it does make a difference.
It raises the profile for sure. I think best case scenario here is, Horn wins the I think unless if they're going to put the money up, if they're going to put the money up that Pacquiao wants to fight Crawford, I think he probably would take the fight.
Yeah.
But he might not. But it sounds like Roach has already said that this is going to be Pacquiao's last fight. So best case scenario here is that Horn wins again, and that Crawford goes over to Australia, and that would be this is the guy that beat Pacquiao twice, and Crawford's traveling over to Australia on ESPN. That's a high-profile fight for him at that point.
Either way, see, this is what I fear that happens is that, that's a belt that's politically, right? That's the belt that's in the Top Rank corner. The
WBO.
So, if Pacquiao wins, right? If Horn wins, it's easy. They can just make Horn and Crawford and give him the belt. But Pacquiao wins, and then Pacquiao doesn't want to fight Crawford. Crawford's going to get wind up facing these guys. And, he needs to warm up at 147, just waiting for that belt. So, that's down the line. Tonight, he's undisputed, undefeated, great performance. Let's talk quickly a little bit about the biggest fight on August 26, 2017. The biggest boxing fight. The fight of the night. The fight that will undoubtedly change the landscape of boxing.
Now, when you're saying are you saying just boxing, or when you say boxing, you're just saying boxing, or are you going to include combat sports?
Don't say combat sport. If I have to hear fucking combat sports, it's like when Vince McMahon, wanted to started with the sports entertainment.
Yes, right.
It's like, come on, baby.
And he just got away from good old wrestling.
We just talk about wrestling. We just talk about boxing here. Just boxing. We're talking about an all-time great returning to the ring after a long layoff, taking on a young, hungry guy who likes to bring the fight. And I'm not talking about Mayweather McGregor. I'm talking about Miguel Cotto.
Miguel Cotto versus Kamegai.
Yes.
A Japanese buzzsaw, some would say. But
he's been buzzed. So that blade has been dulled a couple times.
That's very true, but actually it's a kind of this could be a coronation here for Kamegai if he pulls the upset, because he kind of rose to prominence when he gave Robert Guerrero hell at the StubHub Center. And where was this fight being held at? At the StubHub Center.
I said if McGregor beat Mayweather should be banned from the Hall of Fame. Same goes for Cotto here. You better know he's a Kamegai fan. Come on, man. This fight is what does Golden Boy do? What are they great at? Matchmaking.
Putting on great fights.
But they're really good at
exciting
matchmaking.
fights.
Eric Gomez he's a great matchmaker.
Right.
And they know how to make guys look good. They know what style.
But some of their guys have taken L's though.
Yeah, but I mean when for the big stars, right? They know how to put them in there. Like they had Canelo looking great against Kirkland. They got him in there with Khan. They know how to make it look good. So this fight is set up for Cotto to, pretty much give a vintage Cotto performance and set up his last fight of his career at the end of the year. So Cotto, let's just briefly, he signs with Rock Nation. I forgot who he destroyed before he fought
Daniel Gill
before he gets the Canelo fight, right? He fights Canelo, huge fight. This is almost 2 years ago, right? 2015?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, such a long time ago. And, scorecards very wide, disputed by you, of course. But he lost that fight.
How about Moretti, huh? 11 rounds to 1.
That motherfucking Dave Moretti has turned in his McGregor scorecard already, a week in advance.
I feel sorry for Conor. He's at a huge disadvantage already.
He already is working on. He got to beat the other two judges. So, all right. So then Cotto, he has one more fight on his Rock Nation deal, but the problem is his guarantee is too high. So he they couldn't get him to fight. They was talking about him fighting Marquez. They were trying to get him to fight Canelo again.
Then Kirkland fight fell through.
The Kirkland fight fell through because Kirkland had a broken nose in camp or some weird shit happened. So now here's Cotto sitting after like over a year layoff, and I mean,
because he fought in November of 2015. So
November 2015.
That's when he last fought.
So we're talking about almost 2 years of a layoff, right? He's like
pretty much, yeah, close to it.
3 months short of 2-year layoff, and it's one of those weird situations where it's on him because you're supposed to run your career and all this, but it's kind of not on him. I know he's just waiting because you can see it too in the Canelo fight and the build up to that. He's just waiting to end his career. He's not checked out, but he's waiting. He just like, let's just put a bow on this. So he's just been sitting around.
Right now, I watched it. I watched an interview with him on Fight Hub. That's a cool. They have a cool channel that you could check out. This guy does a lot of interviews. He's just he's very appreciative and he's thankful for what boxing has provided him.
Yeah, he's at the end, man.
Yeah, he's nearing the end, and one thing and one point that he keeps going back to is, he's just ready to settle down and enjoy his family.
Yeah, I mean,
he's putting a lot of work, and I mean, if you just go through Cotto's greatest hits, even just go through his resume, even the fights he didn't win. I mean, he fought a lot of guys, and he fought a lot of guys when they were close to their best.
Yeah, he fought Pacquiao close to his prime, close to Pacquiao's prime.
Right.
I would say would you say he got probably one of the last truly great prime performances from Pacquiao, maybe the last one or two. That was right on the tail end, and that
was his apex.
Yeah, and Pacquiao put it on him, but he was there until the end, man. They had to
first
stop
4 to 5 rounds. Yeah, he busted Pacquiao's eardrum.
Yeah, so but yeah, I mean, he's at the end. So,
but just even if you look at the guy, he fought Margarito. Nobody wanted to fight him. He fought Joshua Clottey. He fought Judah.
Fought Mosley.
He fought Austin Trout. Honestly, what was the incentive for him to fight Austin Trout?
Yeah.
I mean, he fought a lot of good guys, man, and he's kind of gotten a lot of shit over the last couple years from boxing fans. And so be it. He's been a little bit of a
diva,
I guess a diva, if you want to say, or
yes.
very selective. But when you've taken the type of punishment and fought in the type of opponents he's fought, I mean, in his mind, he deserves to end a career how he wants. Why? You know, he has an end goal in mind, and like I've said, he's reiterated that he wants to be there for his family. So,
but now,
I mean, the fans don't like it, but I mean,
now if you're looking at Cotto, this fight is in August. Triple G and Canelo fight in 2 weeks from now. How does this shake out? Let's say he wins. Everybody's assuming. Let's just say he wins. Let's assume he beats Kamegai, right?
Right.
He wants that last kind of like big fight, but you're looking around. It's like, who's that going to be against? It can't be against Canelo or Triple G because they're going to fight in September. And they're not going to turn around. And if that fight is competitive, there's going to be a rematch, right?
Well, I mean, if Canelo wins, there's no rematch. There's not going to be a rematch.
But okay, if Canelo wins, there won't be a rematch. But Cotto's not going to get in there, fucking Triple G. Like, come on, man, that's not going to happen.
Well, one of the rumors when Dan Rafael wrote that article that he signed over to Golden Boy is that a possible fight with David Lemieux.
That's another thing. Like, what's there to gain for Cotto in that fight? Like, David Lemieux is going to be a much larger man. That's a lot of punishment you got to take going out. I mean, maybe a younger Cotto, I'd say let's go for it. But I mean, at this point, that's a tough take, man.
And that's the thing. Even before we're already talking about his future, but to this fight, even with Kamegai's a guy that he throws a lot of fucking punches. And in this fight with Soto Caras, I believe in the first fight they threw like a CompuBox record.
I think
for 154 pounders.
Cotto, he's just banking on the power will nullify a lot of that.
Right, but Kamegai's never been deterred by power.
Yeah, that's true.
He brings a lot of volume, and although it might not be as strong, it's kind of like the type of pressure that Margarito was bringing, He's just a guy that's going to be in his face, and that's always been the style.
It's not as powerful, though. It's enough to win rounds, but I don't think it's enough to bust Cotto up the way Margarito.
But could it be enough to overwhelm? Because he's 36 years old. He's not a spring chicken.
He's not.
I know he's been on a 2-year layoff.
But he's coming off that 2-year layoff, man. And, I mean, come on. Boxing is one of those sports where a layoff does make a difference because sometimes guys just do need a fucking rest. Because it is a combat sport. So
oh yeah, those combat sports, rest, man, they get you every time. One other thing that I think it is pretty cool though that one of his last fights, Los Angeles gets treated to watching a future Hall of Famer. So I think that is pretty cool that he is.
Whether he's a first ballot, probably not, because it's gonna be a loaded Hall of Fame class. But
well, if Floyd sacrifices his name, he sacrifices laughing, like.
If
Jesus Christ, then maybe everybody will be able to get in.
If he did that, I mean, you would have to give Floyd some props, right?
Man, Floyd don't give a shit about nobody.
I'm just saying, hypothetical. All right, so
his future.
It'll be a good fight, though. I will tell you this: it will be a good fight. It will be action, and HBO will spoil the Mayweather-McGregor fight. They may bring out Larry Merchant from retirement, who's cryogenically frozen right now. You know what? As we speak, they're thawing him out. Just so he can get in a nice dig against Mayweather.
So is he in a freezer next to Austin Powers? Is that what you're saying?
Yep, man. They're de-thawing him right now. And he's gonna say, "Combat sports, Floyd." The only you know what? Yeah, he's coming, man. He's coming. I couldn't even think of a good line, but he's something that's come snide remark from HBO is coming.
Yeah, but it should be a very good fight. I mean,
it should be.
Kamegai's going to bring the pressure, and Cotto's always been a very good counter puncher, and I think he'll be pretty sharp. But we'll see how his conditioning holds up, man, because Kamegai is going to bring it, and he is 36 years old, so it should be interesting. I think what they're banking on is that Cotto gets a signature look, a signature highlight for this one, and then they can market him for that final fight. And I wouldn't. I mean, if Canelo gets a decision over Triple G, I mean, I could see them running it back on pay-per-view.
Yeah,
I mean,
Canelo and Triple G are going to fight if the fight does not end in a knockout. They're gonna fight twice. I'm telling you this. I know you don't believe me, but I'm telling you because we'll get into this.
I'm telling you, if Canelo wins,
he's gonna
that's
take
it
that
for Triple G.
He's gonna take that win and run away.
Yeah, he is.
All right. We'll get into that when we talk about that fight. But yeah, I guess for now, I mean, in the meantime, between now and maybe next week, maybe you can think of possible opponents for Miguel Cotto, because I'm at a loss for who it would be. Not because there aren't guys he could fight, just because I don't think it'd be worth it, and there's so much risk for him to fight. Like, it's weird, man, because there's no big money names out there. Maybe Floyd's getting his W.
I mean, to me, honestly, how about a catchweight fight?
Against who?
Against Keith Thurman. I mean, Thurman's a guy that's a very good fighter, but you can see the flaws and the vulnerabilities in him that a lot of guys are calling him out. Like Mikey Garcia's called him out, Terence Crawford's called him out. A lot of different people have called out Keith Thurman. Errol Spence has been calling them out even before Errol Spence was proven.
Well, Errol Spence, my boy Errol Spence, the Terminator, will call everybody out. Nobody wants it.
Cotto versus Thurman, stylistically, that would be a good fight.
That's actually a great fight. I would watch that.
I mean, and then too, it would make sense because Cotto's not really he's not a 160 pounder. He's not even a 154 pounder, but he doesn't want to cut that weight to 47. So I think, a catch weight against one of the what about Terence Crawford?
I don't know, maybe, but see, that's a fight though. I think
I think he can dip into that welterweight pool, man.
The thing though is the thing you brought up against Kamegai is that, like, the volume and the energy and all that stuff, the difference. And I said I think he'll be fine against him because of the lack of power. But with Crawford and Thurman, even though they're smaller guys, they can crack, and that does make a difference, man. It does make a difference in the amount of damage you can take. But yeah, I don't know. All right.
But you got to look into I know we're going to end this, but Cotto knows this is the last fight, so I think he'll be more open.
I know there's a guy out there. There's a name.
Fight.
There's a name that we're missing right now, but because there's a plan, right? He didn't sign with Golden Boy to fight Kamegai and follow it up and fight fucking Kirkland again Kirkland in November or something. There's a plan.
Right.
I just don't know. I don't know. It's like it's right in front of us and we just don't see it. But yeah, why don't you tweet at the Boxed Out Podcast? Let us know who should Cotto fight.
Oh, I like that. Wow, that was very professional.
There we go. Yeah, that's right. All right, and shout out to Fight Hub too. Apparently doing great work.
Yes, no, for sure, doing real good work. A lot of boxing people doing great work out there. So check everybody out.
All right. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you guys for listening.
Next weekend's a big weekend. Some of you will be watching.
Wait, hold on.
Sports.
You have to preface by saying it's a big weekend in combat sports.
It's a big weekend in combat sports. It's a big weekend in boxing. Price of baseball going on too. I'm just gonna say this: if you don't feel like forking over the $100 for Mayweather McGregor, it's fine. It'll be available on YouTube probably 5 minutes after it's over. I'm just gonna throw it out there. All right.
And tweet out the Boxed Out Podcast if you're paying for the fight and want people to come over and watch it for free.
That's right.
I'm down for that too.
All right.
I'll bring some chips.
Yeah. You'll bring some chips. The bag will be don't bring those Ram chips though.
Oh, those Tostitos. Yeah, no,
don't
no
bring
good.
Those All right. Thank you everybody for listening.
All right. Take care.